Hello there, Algebra 1A, and welcome to Lesson 4.5. Today, what is slope in mathematics? Slope is a few things. It's known as the rise over the run, or the rate of change, and you can also think of it as the y over the x. Okay, change in y over change in x. There is a formula for slope, which is your lifeline for a lot of the lesson stuff to come. It is y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. And it's kind of funky. We let slope be the letter m. So m equals that there. I would definitely box that off, star it, memorize it, because that's going to be very important as we move forward. So finding slope from graphs, it's really not too bad. Remember that slope is rise over run. So we essentially can count from one point to the other what the rise is. In this case, we go up 1 from the point. And the run, how far to the left or right we go over 2. And I'm going to highlight these here. So again, the run from one point to the next is up 1 in blue, over 2 to the right in purple. Simply put, the slope is 1 over 2. And that is what m, our slope is. It's a little trickier with negative. So negative is always what challenges students. So you have to be careful. So from looking left to right, it's going down from left to right. So when we look at our first point on the left, we think that we are going down, or we think of down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just 4. We're going down 4. Now the run, we are going to the right still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So to the right, 7. That down corresponds with a negative. So down 4 is just negative 4, and the run is 7. So be careful when dealing with negative slopes down from left to right. And of course, that's m. So that's all looking at a graph. Finding the equation or the slope from looking at an equation, pretty easy. Why? Because hopefully you remember y equals mx plus b. That, looking right at it, has the slope. It's the m, which is in front of the x. So if you're already in slope-intercept form, like number 3, the slope is simply 2. M equals 2. Done. How about that? Same idea for 4. It's always a number in front of the x. In front of the x. So in this case, m equals 1/2. So those were super easy, I hope. And now we get to something a little more challenging. So first, we are not in slope-intercept form. So that is the first step to do. Solve for y equals mx plus b. Have to do that first, which means we're going to subtract the 3x and subtract the 3x, meaning y is equal to negative 3x minus 3. The slope then can be found by looking at the coefficient in front of the x. So in this case, m equals negative 3. Okay. 6, same idea. It's not in slope-intercept form, so we have to get it there. We're going to subtract x from each side. We have to remember to divide. So divide everything by 4. And remember, that's going to make a fraction. So negative 1/4 x plus 4, meaning our slope is negative 1/4. And that's it there. Okay. The biggest thing for today is finding slope through 2 points. And this is where our formula comes into play. I'm going to rewrite it down here, something that hopefully you'll master very soon here. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Where are all these things coming from? Well, it's always helpful to label our points here. So the first point, 10, -9, is our x1 and our y1. The second point is x2 and y2. They always go together like that. From there, we just plug them into the formula. I'm going to use all the colors here to label it out. So 15 minus -9. Be careful writing this out. Notice how I do this, minus a negative. It's going to be very important. All over x2 minus x1. 8 minus 10. Hopefully all these colors help you out. Now, that top part, so you have to be careful with some negatives because a minus, when you subtract a negative, it becomes positive. So really, it is 15 plus 9. And I'm just going to write that out. If you recognize that, you don't have to write this step, but it's okay. The denominator, 8 minus 2 is -2. So 15 plus 9 is 24 all over -2. And then you can just reduce that as -12. And that is the slope. Okay, so it's a little bit of a process, but that is how it is found. You just need to be careful with some negatives. Okay, let's check out another example. Really the same idea, but practice makes perfect. Label everything first. Set up our equation. Recognize minus a negative. That's not always going to happen, but it does for these examples. Eight minus 4 is 4. And divide, giving us a slope of 6. So great job, guys. Definitely practice these. Ask me if you have questions. And that's about it. So great job, guys. Good luck.